This video is made possible by Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg. If you're looking for a new Subaru product in the Chicagoland area, Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg is the best place to buy. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2023 Hyundai Sonata N-Line. Up front is a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4, and down below is an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this Sonata N-Line for two reasons. First of all, I haven't driven one before. I have driven this body style of Sonata in this interesting color, so the Hampton gray of this car is already much better. But the other reason is the fact that I don't really hear much about the Sonata N-Line. Is it good? Is it terrible? Well, let's find out together. But if you'd like to share your vehicle with me, you can head on over to my website, zackpreto.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4 under the hood, making 290 horsepower. That is a fantastic number for a vehicle like this, and it is quick. Is this the fastest vehicle on God's green earth? No, but it makes you feel quick, it makes you feel zippy, and that is what you really want out of a vehicle in this segment. Like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed dual clutch wet transmission. It's a lot of verbiage to say that it shifts pretty quickly, and I really enjoy the shifts. It's right there. It feels very sporty, and that's what I would hope for from an N-Line vehicle. Now, last but not least, the Sonata N-Line is front-wheel drive, and I think that is going to be a little bit of a downside for this vehicle because a lot of other performance four-cylinder turbo vehicles are all-wheel drive, and pretty much any time I put my foot into it, these tires will chirp. And so that's why I think it either needs a lot better of tires, because these are all seasons, or it needs all-wheel drive, because I don't feel like I can put all of the power down all of the time like I would like to do. So how does it feel to actually drive the Sonata N-Line? Well, besides the quickness, it's a very nice driving experience. There is a decent amount of road noise. Again, it is a mid-level Hyundai, so kind of to be expected there. Visibility is pretty good. I love sedan visibility. Steering isn't too heavy and it's adjustable. Throttle is obviously very responsive and the transmission is responsive as well. So overall, the driving experience is definitely more sporty than economy. However, in my book, that's a very good thing. Woohoo! There's not a whole lot of noise behind it, but it goes, and these shifts, I don't know if you can hear this. Very quick. I am thoroughly impressed with the acceleration and driving experience here in the Sonata N-Line. I didn't think it would be very good. I thought they slapped the N-Line on some random jabroni car, but that is absolutely not the case. And the turn-in, I mean, it's confidence-inspiring. It's not on rails, but it's getting there. It's getting there. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a completely digital dashboard. Now, when you select drive modes, you can change this. It changes the colors and designs and things like that. And I do have several different pages that I can select through for that gauge cluster if I would like to do that. So I really like the customization that you get here in the Sonata N-Line. Love seeing that in cars. On the steering wheel, although the steering wheel is N-Line specific, with its leather, off to the left I get my voice commands, mode, volume, skip track, and phone options, and off to the right I have my adaptive cruise and steering buttons. The overall steering wheel is kind of funky. It has this weird grip down at the bottom that's actually useful. It just looks strange. And it, of course, has the N badge. Off to the left I get a climate control vent, gauge dimmer switch, trunk release, and traction control, along with the power parking brake. Moving on to the door, there's a Bose speaker, power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, this is the typical Hyundai/Kia infotainment system. Pretty run-of-the-mill, nothing really too crazy here. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and here's the backup camera in case you were curious. Then we do have 2 climate control vents and the hazard switch, and the climate controls themselves. Dual zone climate, which is sometimes hard to find in performance vehicles like the GR Corolla. But we do have auto and speed wear center, all the essentials here, which is very, very nice for the Sonata N-Line. Moving down in the center, we get a giant cubby with a 12-volt outlet, 2 USB-As for the radio and one just for charging, and then we have a wireless charger as well. So plenty of charging options here in the Sonata N-Line, which is very, very nice to see. Off to the left, we do have the shifter. It's a push button shifter, and I'm not a big fan of it. Because I drive so many cars, I have to acquaint myself to so many different cars every week, which is 100% not a complaint. But all the push button shifters have them laid out in different ways, and so I was putting it into reverse when I thought it was park and blah, blah, blah. So there's a little bit of a learning curve around that. Down below that, we do have our drive mode select. So we have normal, sport, sport plus, and custom. So this is the first Hyundai I've driven with Sport Plus, which will get rowdy and turn off traction control. Then I do have the auto holding brake, and off to the right, I do have cup holders. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Sonata N-Line. And unfortunately, it fails. I didn't really expect it to pass, but it looks like it would. And a lot of people forget that the bottom of the big friggin' bottle is rounded, so it starts to go in about ½ an inch and then stop. So I can't count that as a pass. So unfortunately, the only other option is to consider it a fail. Then we do get a center console with absolutely nothing in it. Then we gotta talk about the seats. The seats are comfortable. They do have the N logo on them, and they have this Alcantara insert. I really, really love that Hyundai stepped up their game for this car and for these seats. That is very, very obvious. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats. So let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2023 Hyundai Sonata N-Line, and again, I'm more and more impressed. Every square inch I spend more time in this car, I'm more impressed. Back seats, this is my driving position. I'm 5'11". I'm not a small guy. If you have eyes, you could tell that. And I'm sitting perfectly normal, even straight up, even more straight up than I would normally sit, and I'm not hitting the ceiling, I'm not hitting the seat in front of me. This not only has more rear space than the Hyundai Elantra, if you're between the Elantra N and things like that, but more space than a lot of its competition, and that is really, really nice to see. I do get a single USB charger back here, and I get rear climate control vents. A lot of vehicles in this segment forget about that, and so if you're driving on a hot day or cold day, your rear occupants aren't going to boil or freeze depending on the season. Very, very nice. I also get a fold-out center console with 2 cup holders, and the seats really remind me of the Mazda RX-8, which was a 2+2. This is the Hyundai Sonata N-Line, and you could see that sort of style in these seats. They look like they're bucket seats, but it's actually a bench back here, and you do get a center seat belt. So it's not a 2+2, it's a full-size sedan or full-seated sedan, whatever you want to call it. So very, very neat that they included that, and that sort of fun design. But let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the Hyundai Sonata N-Line, and we do have a trunk popper here on the key, press and hold, and it comes all the way up, which is really nice. We also get this nice cargo net, love that. And these are the factory floor mats. It says Sonata N-Line. We also get the Hyundai First Aid Kit, which is really, really cool. It is Velcro, so it's kind of stuck to the back of that floor mat. But anyway, decent trunk space. Is this award-winning? I don't think so. But it's definitely not bad, and it's definitely going to be able to fit whatever crap you want to put in the trunk. Now we got to talk about the looks, and like I mentioned at the top of this video, this is finished in Hampton Gray, which is one of the rarest colors, so I'm told, for the Sonata N-Line. So, pretty cool to see that here. I personally like the look of the Sonata. However, a lot of people have issues or problems or disgust with the front end. I don't. Maybe my vision's going, but I don't. I like the look of it, and I think it's a relatively handsome vehicle. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think now driving the Hyundai Sonata N-Line? Something that I wasn't really sure even existed, but now I'm, well, quite happy that it does. What do I dislike? I don't like the shifter. Oh, I don't like that it's not all-wheel drive. I would like all-wheel drive. But beyond that, I mean, that's grasping at straws. I like a big majority of this car. I enjoy the driving experience. It is quick, it is fun, it is engaging, and yet it also has all of the perks of just a regular Sonata. It's quiet around town, it has modern tech, it's decent on fuel. And so, yes, this is just the N line. It's not the Sonata N, it's just the Sonata N line. I honestly think that it's only a few steps away from truly deserving the N title. If it maybe had a manual option, maybe had all-wheel drive, maybe had a strut bar in the back like the Elantra N, but those are just kind of small potatoes at this point. This car is really good, and no one talks about it. I don't see the N-Line Sonata on the cover of Car and Driver. I haven't seen Doug DeMiro or the Smoking Tire or most of the big names even talk about this car. Why is that? Is it because it's just the N-Line and not a true N, and so Audi with the S-Line and BMW with the M-Line and other brands like that, maybe they've sort of tainted the watered down versions of their performance vehicles? I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you, but all I can say is that if you haven't given the Sonata N a second look, I highly recommend that you do. Because for a decent price that you would also find a Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, or Subaru Legacy, you can get something that's going to pack a little bit more of a punch. You're going to get something that's going to be more engaging to drive, and you're going to get something that's going to put a smile on your face more often than the competition. And that is very, very special. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg for letting me take out their Sonata N-Line. They are absolutely awesome. They have tons of cool and interesting used cars on the lot pretty much at all times. They have great customer service. I've been working with them for well over a year now, and I can say it's been all green lights from Napleton Subaru. I highly recommend them. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.